as well as you can, as long as you can, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to die at some point. I mean, as much as people talk about genetics and everything, at the moment, being born, the only certain thing is that you're going to die at some point. So, as they say, death and taxes. So we want to keep you as good as possible for as long as possible, but with data behind it and have an actionable plan for the next year, so that you can take it to your cardiologist, rheumatologist, dermatologist, and say, but this is what these guys have done already. Put in your little piece. So, I mean, we're not trying to be your GP, or we want to be your oversight, and hence the Innersight. We want to look in and say, this is what your digital avatar looks like, and give you an actionable plan for the next year.
Yeah, I think you said something very important, is that we certainly don't want to replace your doctor. Okay, we want to work with them. We want to give you the information, red flag the problem areas, and then you can work with your doctor fixing that. And then we can retest and see if it's better. Just an idea. So the program, the Innersight program, we start off by asking the core question of, how do you want to look, feel, and function one day when you're 80 or 90 years old? That's the first question. And one needs to think about it, because, you know, your 80-year picture in your head might differ from my 80-year picture. And it's important to understand what you would like to be able to do at that point in time. So we then reverse engineer the whole process. And we say, okay, first of all, the first step is to get you to 80 or 90. And this is where we look at the medical, the most common medical problems that might cut your journey short. I mean, obviously, we can't prevent or predict all diseases, but there's certain things that's definitely up there causing most of the problems. So we'll look in depth into those problems. And to take an example, we don't want to diagnose diabetes when it's there. We don't want to diagnose diabetes when it's pre-diabetic. We want to actually pick it up when you already have insulin resistance. So the pre-diabetic stage, that's when we want to pick it up, because at that point, we can change it. You don't need to become a diabetic.
Yeah. So, and again, just to bring this all back for our listeners, pre-diabetics, I mean, we've now realized, so there's two big things in my mind that we're looking for. We're looking for metabolic inflammation and how you deliver oxygen to your body. For me, that was my epiphany, is, okay, that's the two big things that we're looking for. And in what we do, I mean, we've got lots of pillars inside, and we've got sliders and colors and all that. But for me, a pre-diabetic has got less oxygen delivery because they've got a metabolic slowness on the inside, and we'll talk about this a lot more when we actually focus on the things that what we do in the model. But on this first episode, I think what we need to tell our listeners is that it is actually the first set of screenings is going to be so much different to your normal bloods that you've had with your doctor. I mean, a lot of the stuff you'll take back to your normal GP that might not have heard about